Hello and welcome here to this special edition, a new thing that we're trying on the Husker Online YouTube channel. Sean Callahan here, kind of our signing day post game show, signing day live. And we're going to try to talk to a number of different recruits over the course of this process. And this show brought to you by Sand Hills Global here in Lincoln. If you have equipment to sell it at auctiontime.com, powered by ABM. And joining us here on what is our first live YouTube show on the Husker Online channel, Nebraska's highest ranked recruit in the class of 2020 22 here, defensive back Jaeden Gould out of Bergen Catholic in New Jersey. First of all, Jaeden, welcome and congratulations. Number one on your football season and signing with Nebraska.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, yeah, let's get right to it. I mean, you talk about just your season and how things went for you guys. 12-0 state champs. I mean, recap your year and just how special the run was that you guys had.
I mean, it was a great year, honestly. I mean, like I couldn't have played out any better than what it did. I mean, from just from the summertime on in, we were just grinding. We really felt like we had a lot of goals on the table that we really needed to fulfill. And I mean, we had a lot of talent on the team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So I felt like just coming in every day and practice and things like that, we really worked from the summer. And the biggest thing for us was just staying consistent. I mean, in our league, there's teams. It's a very competitive league. I mean, there's teams always trying to knock you off and things like that. So it's really hard to go. We're the last team to go undefeated in this league since 2011. And I mean, that was different times back then with the scheduling and things like that. So we were really the first team to do it in this era. And I mean, it took a lot. I mean, it took a lot of sacrifice, dedication, but it was a great year. I mean, we really stayed consistent week in and week out. We just came to play, and ultimately it led us to our state championship and the Max Preps number 4 ranking in the country. So it really doesn't get any better than that.
Well, if you are watching us right now and want to join the discussion, we'll gladly take your questions in the comments section here on the right. So you can connect directly with Jaeden and ask him anything you want about his recruiting process and about signing with Nebraska. And let's talk about that. I mean, you were really not on the radar, it felt like, for most of the year. How did things start with Nebraska, and kind of how did it move so quickly with you signing here this week with the Huskers?
I mean, just I've always kind of had a good relationship with the staff. I mean, obviously there's a couple familiar faces there as far as players and staff. But I mean, honestly, like things kind of did happen fast. I mean, I was committed in January. I committed in June all the way up until pretty much maybe a couple weeks ago or a month ago. But I mean, I've always knew that Nebraska had great people, and I mean, honestly, like I've heard great things from Ramir. I mean, he's not gonna lie to me. Like we have a pretty good relationship. So I've always tuned into games, showed support for him and the team. I mean, I watched a lot of tough games this year, but I mean, I really enjoyed watching them. I mean, the Nebraska was right there in each one of the games, which is really one of the biggest things that attracted me. I mean, I feel like we just needed a couple more pieces and a couple more plays to turn those games around. I feel like hopefully that's what this class can provide, including myself. I feel like I could definitely make an impact, and hopefully early. I mean, that's the plan, honestly. But I mean, just Nebraska as a whole. I mean, just taking the visit my freshman year really helped me gain a better relationship with the staff, and then my official visit. I believe it was 2 weekends ago. I mean, that really just kind of sealed the deal for me. I mean, and they were back at my house. I mean, like 3 days after. So, I mean, they were always showing love. I mean, Coach Frost is a great guy. Coach Chins is a great guy. Everybody that recruited me is a great guy. I really feel like the staff and the team is going in the right direction, and I can't wait to be a part of that.
Yeah, you talk about in-home visit. I mean, talk about that process. Guys didn't get in-home visits a year ago. It had been almost 2 years since in-home visits happened in college football. So you probably didn't have a lot of people you could talk about that went through that process.
Yeah.
What did you do? How'd you entertain the coaches out of New Jersey when they came and break down how that all went?
I mean, honestly, it was great. I mean, it was kind of my first and only one, so I don't really have anything to compare it against. But I mean, we had a great time. I mean, we were kind of familiar with each other. We felt each other out through the official visit, kind of really got to know each other, started up conversations and things like that. So when they got here, I mean, it was really just natural, and that was the biggest thing. Like, we really felt my whole family, including me, like especially me, because I'm the one that's going there. But like we really just felt comfortable with them. I mean, there was nothing forced. Everything was genuine with them from the start. So I mean, we really just had a great time. I mean, I was like the time went by fast. Honestly, next thing I know, it's like 10 o'clock at night. But I mean, the in-home visit was great as well as the official visit. Like, if I could do it all over again, I would as many times as possible. But I mean, it was all good.
You guys cook for them or take them out? You guys go out to eat somewhere?
Oh, yeah, we had food come in.
Got our first question here in the comments section.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know it was Nebraska? I mean, was it on the visit? Was it heading out to Lincoln? Was it the in-home visit? When did things click for you, Jaeden, that you knew Nebraska was where you were going to end up?
Honestly, I would probably say the official visit. I would say the official visit. I mean, one of the best things for me was just sitting down, watching film with Coach Fisher. I mean, that really kind of sealed the deal with me. I mean, just taking in all the knowledge of the game that he has from his NFL career. I mean, college career as well. Seeing all the guys that he's developed and got into the league, which is where I'm ultimately trying to go. So I mean, it was just great chopping it up with him, talking about where they see me playing at, how they could utilize my skill set to its best ability. And I mean, I feel like that's really something that attracted me the most about them. So I would say the official visit, kind of getting back on that flight, kind of like, yeah, I think this is the place that I want to be.
We got a comment from Mick. Just says, Jaeden, welcome to Nebraska in the Go Big Red Nation.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. Can't wait to get out there.
So, had you ever been to Nebraska? I mean, had you watched? You said you kind of followed them closely with Ramir. Is that kind of you know how much you know about them in the Big Ten Conference?
Yeah, well, I visited the summer of my going into my sophomore year as well, so I was kind of familiar with it a little bit. I mean, not that much, but I was able to get out there. So,
Uh-huh. And you mentioned Coach Travis Fisher, and he's got a extensive background playing in the NFL. What did he tell you? I mean, just he's a pretty blunt guy. He's going to tell you as it is. He's not going to sugarcoat things. I mean, what did he when you guys talk ball? Like, how did things go with Travis Fisher?
oh, it was great. I mean, yeah, that's one of the things that I appreciate the most about him. I mean, he's straightforward. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. Like, he's one of the most genuine guys out there, and I really respect that because I feel like that's how coaches should be. And not everybody's like that, though. I mean, especially in this whole recruiting thing, you're going to get told a lot, promised a lot, but it's not always true. So you always got to try to look out for the most genuine guys and the people that are going to be straight up with you. But I mean, no, my conversations with him have been great. I mean, honestly, just he's taught me a bunch just from that one meeting. So I really can't wait to get out there and really just learn from him every day and practice every day. I feel like that's gonna make me so much better. But his knowledge, I mean, is extensive. I mean, he had a great career, college, All American, things like that, and in the NFL as well. He's played with some greats. I mean, Aeneas Williams pretty much like taught him a lot of stuff that he knows. I mean, Aeneas Williams is a great. So I mean, anytime you could learn from him, I mean, I think you're doing something right. So I'm really excited to get out there with Coach Fisher and just change my game and just become better every day.
All right, we joined here by Jaeden Gould on Signing Day Live with Husker Online. As you heard, we're brought to you by Sandhills Global. If you have equipment to sell it at auctiontime.com, powered by ABM. Got a question from Will. Favorite play that you had in high school?
Favorite play that I had in high school. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, 4 years, but it goes by fast. But I would say one of my favorite plays is just my freshman year. My first interception. Like, I mean, that's something I'll never forget. Freshman year playing varsity. I mean, it's crazy because like before the game, something was just in the air. I was talking. It's crazy because I was actually talking to Ramir. I'm like, bro, like I think I'm gonna get an interception today. Like something's just like telling me like I'm gonna get an interception, and we're on the sideline talking. He's like, yeah, bro, like I believe like you could do it, bro. And the next thing you know, like I go out there and get the interception. So that was my first one in my career. I mean, freshman year playing varsity. So that's something I'll never forget. Honestly, that's one of the best memories that
So
I had in high school.
You played freshman or varsity as a freshman.
Yes, sir.
Program's one of the top programs in the country. You said you finished, I believe, number 4 in the country this year. How rare is it for freshmen to play varsity at Bergen Catholic?
Oh, I mean, it's pretty rare. I mean, it's definitely, like I said, one of the toughest leagues. But I mean, I feel like they did a great job, just guiding me. Like older guys like Jordan Morant and Ramir, obviously, like they led me in the right direction that summer because I mean, it's different, playing Pop Warner 8th grade to coming in high school, and these guys are, 18, 17, and you're 15, 14 out there just trying to compete. But I mean, I had some great mentors, and that's why I am where I am today. So without them, I don't know how things would have went. But I mean, they led me in the right direction. So, but it's not something that's common. So I mean, like I can never take that for granted. I mean, I'm grateful for the coaches believing in me and trusting me to even step out on the field, because I mean, a lot is at stake, especially when you're putting the young freshmen out there to go. Like I remember the first game of the year we're playing Grayson. Actually, they were like the number 3 team in the country at the time. I mean, they had like maybe 11 All-Americans or 11 guys signed in Power 5, and I mean, they were like a top 5 team in the country, and that was the first game, and I actually started that game. So I mean, they had a lot of faith in me, and I mean, I had a lot of faith in them that they were going to put me in the right situations to just excel. And I mean, I'm just grateful for everything that they've done for me.
Got another question here in the comments from Rennie. Rennie says, "Welcome to Nebraska, Jaeden. What are the strongest contributions that you hope to make early on for the Huskers?"
I mean, honestly, I try to go 1-0 in my life, and just every day I just try to go 1-0 every day. So I'm just gonna try to get better in practice, spring, fall, and just try to win. Take it week by week, and honestly, those wins are gonna add up. And I mean, hopefully, we just keep building on that throughout my years there. I mean, honestly, I mean, Big Ten's a tough conference. I mean, there's a lot of talented teams out there, but I mean, I feel like Nebraska's right there, one of them, and we're a couple steps away. And I feel like this year, like, is going to be the year that we start to open some eyes. So I really can't wait. I mean, personally, like, I hope I could just get in as early as possible. I mean, and just make an impact. I would love to, just help and be a part of this turnaround of the program. And for team wise, I mean, honestly, I just want to just win as much as we can, and I feel like we are capable of that for sure. So it's nothing that we can't accomplish. We just got to put our mind to it and just work every day in practice, and those days are going to add up.
Got another question here from Kevin in the comments. Wants to know about the Nebraska fans. What is your impression thus far of the Sea of Red?
I mean, they're great. Honestly, it's something like I've never seen before. But I mean, honestly, if there's one thing I can say about my high school is that the fans, we do have one of the best fan bases in the country. So I will say that. But no, you guys are. The Big Red fans are just great. I mean, like they've shown support since I might have posted or submitted one article, and next thing you know, I got a whole sea of Nebraska fans following me before I even got to visit out there. But I mean, you guys show great support. I mean, just in general, I mean, pretty much every game sold out. I mean, that's not even football. Like, you look at it, and every girls' volleyball game is sold out. I mean, they just do it all across the board. So I'm really excited to be a part of that community. I can't wait to see all the fans every game out there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, you hear this a lot from recruits. Once you get that Nebraska offer, kind of start looking at Nebraska, you kind of get a bump and follows.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, from the offer, like my freshman year, like it's like that's probably the most likes and things I've ever gotten from a school. So I kind of knew it was real, like the fans were real from that point on.
And then another question here from Ryan. Who is someone, Jaeden, name someone's game that you admire and you try to take pointers from? And it could be somebody in the pro or someone you play with, or anybody that you've kind of really tried to study and watch playing football.
Yeah, I would say the two biggest for me, just from my size, my skill set, and things like that, that I try to move my game around. I'd say number one is Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he's a real physical DB, physical corner, but I mean, he doesn't just play corner. They move him all around and put him in positions to make plays, which I feel like is something similar to what I can do. And I would say Charles Woodson as well. Just being able to be versatile, honestly. I mean, just from corner to safety to playing in the slot and just make plays all around. So those are two guys that I really try to study and emulate my game around, because I feel like we have similar skill sets and abilities.
Now, before Nebraska and everything played out, I mean, what did it look like for you in recruiting? I mean, had you been committed anywhere else over the process? I mean, let everybody kind of know, your path and kind of everything that you kind of did over the last year to kind of get to this point to pick Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, I originally committed to USC back in June. I mean, kind of stuck with that throughout most of the football season, and then about like 3 weeks ago, I mean, college has been crazy. I mean, with all the coaching changes and things like that. So I mean, they had a coaching change, and I kind of felt like taking a step back from that was the best decision for me. And I mean, next thing you know, Nebraska's at the school the next day, and I mean, it just kind of went from there. So I mean, I feel like I'm a big believer in like everything happens for a reason. So I feel like this is the place for me, and I mean it's just the way it happened.
Yeah, June this year was different, obviously, than about any other June you can remember because of
Sure.
the COVID shutdown the previous year, and then June they just kind of said, "Let's open the gates and let everybody in." And you know, as a recruit, when you went through that month of June, I mean, how jam packed was your June? Because I know every guy you talked to felt like every day, every weekend they were going somewhere in June.
No, it was kind of hectic, but I kind of slimmed things down because I knew it was going to get like that. So I really only took 2 official visits in June, which were the top 2 schools that I was looking at, which was Penn State and USC. So I kind of got that out the way because it was starting to get overwhelming for sure. I mean, everybody's hitting you up every day, trying to get you on campus, trying to FaceTime you and things like that. So I kind of just narrowed it down to the 2 schools at the time, which I really felt like were best for me, and just took those official visits.
Were you I mean, was it getting pretty nuts though, or teams like, hey, come on, see if you can slip in here in June, just because everybody was trying to get a jump on recruiting in that month of
Yeah,
June?
definitely. I mean, even after I decommitted, I mean, there was only really like 2 weekends free that I had until early signing day. So I mean, there's just a bunch of teams trying to hit you up and trying to get you out to their campus, show you why their campus is better, or show you why their team is better. But I mean, I really just stuck with Nebraska. I kind of just after that visit, I kind of just shut everything down, and I wasn't really entertaining any other options for me. I felt like Nebraska was the place for me to be most successful. So.
And you're going to graduate early. You know, going to a private school like Bergen Catholic, there's a lot of academic work you have to do, obviously, to get there. How long have you been kind of planning to get to this route to graduate early? And is it pretty common at your school if you go D1 like this? I mean, most guys probably leave early there.
No, actually, this is the first year that we're doing it, so it's really something new. We've never done it before.
Oh, wow.
We kind of just passed that through this summer. So I mean, it's been a lot of work because I mean, it's been a short period of time that we figured this out. So it's been a lot of work. But I mean, honestly, I think that is worth it. I mean, I feel like graduating early is one of the biggest benefits that you can have if you're trying to come in and contribute early. I mean, just getting in the playbook, getting in the weight room with the great strength staff, obviously that Nebraska has. So I feel like it's really just gonna push me forward in my development for sure.
So, I mean, when you go to a private school, is it just hard to graduate early with the religion courses and all the things that you have to do?
Yeah, there's definitely some extra classes that you have to take to graduate early. But I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. So,
What's your last day? How many more days you got left?
actually, my last day is a Friday. So
Right. So you're counting the hours,
yeah,
man.
it's crazy. But I mean, it's been a great 4 years at that school. I mean, I wouldn't choose any other school just from in school, the football games, just the atmosphere is something that I'll never forget. So.
All right, I got this might catch you off guard. A question from Rennie. He wants to know, have you tried a runza yet? Do you know what a runza is?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's a Nebraska thing. You'll have to figure it out when you get here, but they serve them in the stadium. And it was one of the questions here in the chat. Next,
I'll get back to you on that one. I'll have to see that figure that out when I get there.
yeah, you're New Jersey. I mean, are you pizza guy, or like what's the go-to food out of New Jersey?
Yeah, pizza definitely. I feel like we New Jersey and New York have the best pizza when it comes to states. So that's
How
something.
far do you live from the city?
Maybe like 40 minutes.
So you obviously know that Nebraska plays at Rutgers next year, I'm sure,
Oh
right?
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I checked the schedule out a little bit. So yeah, I know. I think it's like the fourth game or third. I think it's the fourth though. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, it's nothing like playing in front of your home state and playing in front of your family. So.
When it's easier to get here than people think. I mean, that there's a few direct flights, Newark, and I think LaGuardia gets you right into
Hmm.
Omaha. Is that how you came out here? I take it.
Yeah, LaGuardia. Yeah.
What question from Dixie? What college team did you root for growing up living in the Northeast?
Hmm. I mean, okay, so my dad went to Rutgers. So growing up when I was really kind of young, like ages probably like 5 through like 12. I mean, I was just, always going to the Rutgers games with him. So that was, I guess you could say, that was kind of the team that I was rooting for. And I would probably say I was a kind of a USC fan, USC/Oregon. I mean, I loved Oregon growing up when I was younger. They had all the flashy uniforms and the spread offense and the Anthony Thomas and all those type of guys. So I really enjoyed watching them. But I never really had a solid team my whole life. I mean, I live 5 minutes away from Rutgers, so it's kind of hard not to be a Rutgers fan. But I mean, I never really had a solid team. I mean, I kind of just, and then once you get to high school, all these different teams are recruiting you. So it's really kind of hard to have a favorite team throughout it. Cause I mean, it's like you get a different perspective now because that's where you're being recruited by and that's where you're going to be playing. So, I mean, I kind of just threw the favorite team thing out the window once I got to high school.
Did people? I mean, Greg Schiano's obviously done a great job at Rutgers. Did people locally take it pretty hard when you live so close to Rutgers that you?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I feel like they're gonna be successful. I mean, I have nothing wrong with the guys over there. I mean, and the coaching staff to the players to the recruits. I mean, they have a great class coming in, so I wish them nothing but the best.
Let's see. Got any more questions here in the chat? More discussion about Runza. Somebody said that they got cheese Runzas too, so make sure you try a cheese Runza. But
All right.
I got to ask you about Mike Dawson too. I know we'll wrap this up here, but he's a Jersey guy. What kind of impact did he have on the recruiting process for you?
Oh, a huge one. I mean, he was kind of back when I was a youngin'. I mean, freshman year, he was always coming around because Ramir was committed at the time. So that's when I really first started talking to him. My freshman year, he was always around the school and things like that. So, and then I believe he left to the Giants and then came back like my junior year. So, I mean, I've always had a great relationship with him. I mean, he was at my school like the next day after I decommitted. So, I mean, we definitely had some great talks. And I mean, he's a great guy, great coach. Obviously, I mean, his resume speaks for itself. So.
Yeah, and Nebraska lost 2 6-year senior safeties, Deontay Williams and Markel DeSmuke. When you just look at the lay of the land, what kind of opportunity do all the young guys in the program have at safety now?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, there's definitely opportunities all across the board in the secondary for them. I would say. I mean, like that was one of the biggest deciding factors for me is just giving myself the best opportunity to play early, which I feel like this school is a school that, I mean, obviously it's not going to be easy. I mean, there's talented players. Like Nebraska is always going to have talented players. That's just the type of program that they are. But I feel like this definitely gives me the best opportunity to contribute early.
So I think classes start up here January 18th. You know when you move up here?
I believe like the 9th or the 10th.
9th or 10th. Who you rooming with? Do you have any idea who you're rooming up with?
Nah, I'm not sure yet. I'll figure that out in the kind of starting to build a relationship. I mean, everything happened so fast. I mean, like I wasn't really Nebraska throughout the last couple months. So I mean, I haven't really built that much of a relationship with the other commits, but I'm starting to. So we'll kind of see who I end up rooming with.
Well, good. Hey, Jaeden, this has been great. First time we've ever done this. I think it went off
Yeah,
pretty well, and it's been a lot of fun to get a chance to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Likewise.
Hey, well, congratulations once again on your decision. Best of luck here in your final couple of days of high school, and I know people are looking forward to seeing you in Lincoln.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that wraps it up here for our first ever edition of Signing Day Live as Jaeden Gould, Nebraska's highest ranked recruit, joined us. Make sure you stay on HuskerOnline.com. Log on to our YouTube channel as well, our Twitter channel, as you can find the links for this. And we'll have much more of these to come on Husker Online.